All right, so I'm changing the air filter on a 2007 Camry XLE. So first thing I'm going to do is remove these two 10mm bolts. There's one right there, and there's one behind the engine right over here. All right, so let me just get my my socket, and I'll remove those two. Then they get caught in the plastic, so you can see the front one's loose. Okay, and it's just kind of spinning freely in the plastic. I'm going to do the rear one now, right there. They're both loose, so they're both spinning freely. So now what I'm going to do is jostle this airbox container up. It might get stuck, so I might need two hands. Let's see what happens here. I jiggle it, and then it pops right up. You can see it popped up. The air filter is right here. So I'm just going to pull this out from the cover. This is the old filter. When it came out, you could see it's not that dirty. The square is in the upper left-hand corner. There's the part number. And this is the inlet side. So it's dirty. The car only had about 10,000 miles or so in between filter changes, but according to the Toyota service manual, it should be changed every 3 years or 30,000 miles, whatever occurs first. So that's done. It'll be another 30,000 miles or 3 years before it gets changed again. The air filter came out in this orientation. You could see that corner right there is square. All the other ones are circular. So when I put the new one back in, I'm going to use the square edge right over there. Before I put the new box in, I am going to vacuum a little bit. You can see there's some loose debris in the air box. I don't want that getting stuck in the new one, so I'm just going to vacuum that up, and then we'll put the new one back in. Okay, so just got done vacuuming. You can see it's nice and clean in there. So when I put the new filter back in, it's going into a nice, clean holder. So when we put the filter back in, you can see the orientation. I'm going to slide it in, and that square is going to be in the upper left-hand corner. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what it looks like. The filter is going to lay, if you see in that corner right there, the lip is going to lay, and that's a square corner right there. So I'm going to go ahead and rest the filter, and I'll show you what it looks like. Filter's in nice and flush. You can see it kind of rests nicely along the edge here. Remember, the flat part is in the upper left-hand corner right there, and that's the flat part. So what I'm going to do, it's sitting nice and flush, so I'm going to close the engine cover. Just make sure that it is in nicely. You can see back there the filter sticking out a little bit, so I'm just going to shimmy the cover so it shuts nicely, and then I'm going to tighten these two bolts. One right there and one right there. Okay, so everything is nice and tucked in. I just had to shimmy the cover a little bit and just adjust the filter. So this would sit flush. Sitting flush now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten up these bolts. Remember, righty-tighty, they're 10mm, so I'm just going to put my ratchet right here. I'm just going to tighten it. I'm not going to overdo it. I want to make sure it's nice and tight, so it gets a nice seal with the filter. Okay, that one's nice and tight. I'm going to do the last one, and then make sure all the tools are out of the engine bay, like this vacuum. And then we'll shut the trunk, and everything will be nice and good.